Hey everybody, Nick Fisher here, your registered dietitian. Today we are talking about calcium and vitamin D. So they're both really important, bone health as well as hormone function from vitamin D and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're going to talk about a little bit what we're looking for with foods that have it, how much we're looking for in a day. So to start, calcium, 1,000, maybe even more than that milligrams of calcium per day. Vitamin D, 600, 800 milligrams per day or more, depending on your status of vitamin D. So that being said, numbers are great, but what about food? So I've kind of prepared a fake day of food here to kind of walk us through where we're getting our calcium and vitamin D from in a balanced diet that is reasonably calorie controlled. So the reason vitamin D and calcium are really important is your vitamin D status in your blood will help you absorb calcium from the food you eat. So it's not that the vitamin D and the calcium that are together in milk work together to absorb the calcium, but the vitamin D in the milk helps maintain your vitamin D status in your body, which then helps you absorb through various mechanisms and processes the calcium from that food. So vitamin D is from our food, but also from the sun. Obviously, if you live closer to the equator, you're going to be able to get more vitamin D. If it's warmer out with less clothing on, you have more sunlight exposure, so more vitamin D. And the lighter your skin or the younger you are, that can also help you get more vitamin D from the sun. Some uncommon foods that have vitamin D besides our fortified orange juice or milk and things like that. Salmon, sardines, small bony fish, they have vitamin D, but they also sometimes have calcium because of the bones that are in them. Another weird place, mushrooms that have been sunned with the gills up, they can have a lot of vitamin D in them. So sometimes you'll see, I've seen them in Sam's Club where they'll have portobello mushrooms, there'll be a little like sun logo on it. That's basically telling you that it was sun, so there's more vitamin D. And those, if I remember, had about 100% of your daily vitamin D per serving. So let's look at some food here. I'm going to tilt the camera so you can all see it. This breakfast here. Cereal, we got Raisin Bran, which has vitamin D in it, some fruit, a glass of milk with the cereal and egg. This one, that is about 45% of your daily vitamin D right there. I have my little cheat sheets here, and about 35% of your daily calcium. You don't really want to get more than 50% of your daily calcium or 500 milligrams at a time because it will decrease the rate that you can absorb it. But, this breakfast provides a large chunk of the day. Next, we have our lunch because we're not skipping meals like I always push. We have chicken sandwich with cheese, a fruit, and a vegetable here. This one is about 15% of your vitamin D, taking our total for the day up to 60-ish%. And then your calcium from the cheese and some from the bun and some from the broccoli, we're looking at 26% up to 60-ish% of our daily calcium. So we can see we're adding up quickly. Next one here, my personal favorite snack, sardines on crackers. I like hot sauce. That one is putting us at about, for the day, 67% of vitamin D total and up to 80-ish% of our calcium. So you can see we are getting close to our 100%. Next up, we have dinner. We've got salad with some cheese, spaghetti, meatballs, and plenty of vegetables. This one is getting us up to roughly still like 70-ish%, 76% of our vitamin D because this cheese was not fortified, but it bumps our calcium up quite a bit. We're going over the 100% now. And then last, yogurt. This one just so happens to have vitamin D in it. A lot of them don't. I know this one does. Cabot yogurt did. So by the end of the day, we're getting close to 90 to 100% of our vitamin D, and we're getting about 140% of our calcium. So you can see we're close with the vitamin D, plus some sun, we make it, and our calcium is exceeding it. So a fair amount of food, calorie controlled, hitting our calcium and vitamin D levels. So if you're somebody who's deficient in those, this is an example of where you could start to tailor your diet to hit some of these ideas. Any questions or comments, by all means, feel free to reach out.